Hello and welcome to Rube Shares. You're watching Games Around the World, where we explore how people across cultures connect through play. Let's discover today's game together.
In the quiet corners of Nigerian villages, as the sun leans low and casts long shadows across the red earth, a game begins. Small seeds are dropped one by one into carved wooden pits, not in haste but with purpose. There is no shouting, no rush, just focus. Eyes locked, fingers moving with practiced precision. This is Ayoayo, a game of silence, strategy, and centuries of memory. Ayoayo is a traditional Nigerian game that belongs to the larger Mancala family, one of the oldest board game traditions in the world. From East Africa to Southeast Asia, the rules may shift, but the essence is always the same. Sow, capture, outwit. In Nigeria, it has evolved into a uniquely Yoruba experience, a game that teaches patience, logic, and the quiet power of strategy. The board is simple, 12 small pits arranged in 2 rows of 6. Each player controls the 6 pits on their side, and the game begins with 4 seeds in each, 48 in total. These seeds might be pebbles, tamarind seeds, or even small cowries. But they're more than pieces. They're memory tools, each move, recalling generations of players who came before. The first player chooses one of their pits and picks up all the seeds in it. Then they begin sowing, dropping 1 seed into each pit, moving counterclockwise around the board, skipping the opponent's store if the version played includes 1. It's in this motion, seed after seed falling into place, that the game reveals itself. The goal is simple: capture more seeds than your opponent. But the strategy? That runs deep. To capture, the last seed you sow must land in one of your opponent's pits that now contains exactly 2 or 3 seeds. You then collect those seeds and add them to your store. But what if the next pit also ends up with 2 or 3? You may be allowed to capture that too, in cascading turns that can reverse the momentum of a game in an instant. There's math at play, but it doesn't feel like arithmetic. It feels intuitive, like counting with rhythm or telling time by shadows. Players don't just memorize, they feel the board. Expert Ayoayo players can glance at a setup and anticipate 3, 4, even 5 turns ahead. Each pit is a story waiting to unfold, and every seed is a decision. What sets Ayoayo apart is not just its strategy, but its cultural resonance among the Yoruba people. It's not just a game for children. Elders play it with pride. It's a bridge across generations, from grandmothers to grandsons, from fathers to daughters. It's played at home, during festivals, even outside shops and markets where people gather to socialize and settle disputes. In fact, in some communities, a game of Ayo might accompany important conversations, the play becoming a rhythm that holds space for thought. In schools and rural homes, it has also been a quiet teacher. Children learn to count, to plan, to reflect before they act. They learn that quick grabs don't always lead to long-term wins, that sometimes sowing generously means reaping wisely later. These are life lessons, delivered in the soft clatter of seeds against wood, though its exact historical origin is hard to pin down. Archaeological records suggest Mancala games have been played across Africa for over 1,300 years. Variants have been found etched into ancient temple stones in Egypt and drawn in the dust across East and West Africa. Ayo, the Yoruba variant, remains a jewel of this long tradition, distinctly local, yet undeniably global. Over time, Ayoayo has traveled with people. As Nigerians migrated across West Africa and beyond, through trade, through conflict, and through diaspora, they carried this game with them. In Ghana, it's known as Owar, in Uganda, Amweso, in Eritrea, Gabata. The seeds may look different, the names may change, but the rhythm? It's the same. In recent years, Ayoayo has found a place in cultural preservation efforts. Museums, schools, and digital game platforms have begun to showcase Mancala games as critical pieces of world heritage. Yoruba cultural festivals often feature Ayoayo demonstrations. And in some Nigerian schools, traditional game days reintroduce it to younger generations who might otherwise grow up with only digital games. Interestingly, there's also been a rise in global interest. Game enthusiasts around the world have picked up wooden boards, learned the rules, and embraced Ayoayo for what it is, a mentally rich, emotionally grounded game. It's made its way into classrooms in the US and Europe as a teaching tool for logic and cultural studies. It's featured in app stores as digital versions bring the game to mobile devices. But despite the technological shift, the physical board still holds unmatched power. There's something deeply grounding about touching the seeds, feeling the grain of the wood, hearing the faint clink as a pit fills. It's tactile, real, a moment of presence in an increasingly distracted world. In traditional Yoruba communities, Ayoayo is also symbolic. It reflects balance, movement, reciprocity, the idea that every action affects the next. That progress comes not from taking everything, but from distributing wisely. There's even spiritual symbolism in the circular motion of sowing, an echo of the cyclical nature of life, of planting and harvesting, of cause and consequence. It's no surprise then that some Yoruba proverbs reference Ayoayo to teach values. Like, Nikni ti koMD, Ayoayo koMD karo. Meaning, whoever does not know Ayoayo does not know how to think. The game is respected as both pastime and parable. And what about today? Why does Ayoayo still matter? Because in a world where many games reward speed over thought, instant wins over long-term vision, Ayoayo reminds us to slow down, to think through, to see the board and life as something you move through with care. It asks us to pay attention, to anticipate, to give something before we get something. In that way, it's not just a game of seeds and pits. It's a philosophy. So the next time you see a simple wooden board with rows of small holes, know that it's more than a toy. It's a map of memory, a tool of learning, a bridge of connection. From ancient Africa to the modern world, from dusty porches to polished school desks, Ayoayo lives on, thoughtful, strategic, alive. And that's the magic of traditional games. They carry our stories. Not in books or wires, but in wood, in rhythm, in touch. If this glimpse into Ayoayo moved you, there's more to discover. Watch the full series, explore games from every corner of the globe, and help keep these traditions alive. Click the link, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who appreciates the quiet beauty of old wisdom. Because sometimes, the deepest strategy is knowing when to sow.
This is Games Around the World. See you in the next game. If it's worth knowing, Rube shares it.